gonna eat my string cheese while we're hanging out.
Welcome in, everyone. This is the first Unlock Alabama Academy Lunch and Learn. Um, we are we're hosting this for our group within school. So for our interns, for community members, for guests, for our builders that are inside of Unlock Alabama, we're featuring different guests along different topics. And today's topic will be all about building your minimum viable product or your MVP. Today we are joined by our special guest, who is the head of community with for Unlock Alabama, powered by the Innovation Portal, Mr. Brooks Cockle. Brooks, welcome in. We're happy to have you.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm so pumped to meet y'all in virtual persona. This is great.
And Brooks, I know you've done a lot across your journey. Um, would you mind taking a few seconds just to introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are, what you do, and yeah, please include fun facts. We love fun facts over here.
Yeah. So here's what I'll do. I'll start like telling y'all some stuff. If at any time it makes you think of something or you have a question, I don't know, just like do something. Tap on the screen or something so I can stop and and address it or whatever. Yeah. So I went to school in Alabama. I went to Auburn University. War Eagle. I don't know if y'all saw that on school. I told you guys I did that. After that, I disappeared and I went international for like a year and a half. I moved to New Zealand for like a year and a half, and it was like crazy cool adventure. I came back into the U.S. I've been this is quite some time ago. I'm a little bit older than you guys, so this is about like 20 years ago. And I started like kind of my entrepreneurial journey, which is which has been really interesting. It's been really weird. I could not have imagined all the stuff that I've been doing for the last like 18 years. So I basically have been I've been like self-employed for like the last 18 years, and I've done a ton of different interesting like to me it's interesting. Like, I've done some real estate, created a bunch of stuff online, like created blog websites. We have a local media company here in Mobile. I have a YouTube channel that I know we like kind of chat about that. I flipped domain names apparently. I just sold one the other day. But yeah, and fun fact, I put this in school. Like fun fact, like we started a side hustle for like dog sitting, and over Thanksgiving we had like 13 dogs in our house. It was crazy. It was fun. It was fun though. All right, is that enough for now, or where do we go from there, Emmanuel?
I think that's great. I really do appreciate your authenticity. You've done a lot along your journey. One thing I wanted to ask you is, how do you approach building out your ideas? You have such a wide experience of things you've done and things you've built. What's usually the first question that pops up into your mind?
So, like for me, having like been down the road of doing a bunch of different stuff, I feel like the main ideas that come to me are most of them are like personal needs. Like they're literally things that I need in my business or whatever that I'm doing. Um, like uh, I don't even know if Emmanuel knows this. Or maybe I showed it to him. So I have a software called Track It and Save, like trackithandsave.com. I literally built it for myself just to track my business subscriptions. Um, so for me, it was just like it was a personal need, and so, um, but that's probably easier for me having a little bit more experience. So like because you guys specifically are younger, I will say that I also like my brain is always, this annoys my wife a lot, but my brain is always seeing what's going on around me and like thinking of ways that I can improve it. So I think because my brain is always doing that, it's almost like it helps me generate ideas, and um it helps me find these problems easier. Like I truly think that. Like I'll go to a restaurant and just I'll see something that was weird, and I'm like, man, it would be so much better if they just made the small tweak or the small change. And sometimes I'll even send a message to the restaurant, Like I literally did that recently because it like wouldn't get out of my brain, and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much for the suggestion" or whatever. And I think doing that helps me see these problems, and it helps me figure like for the things that I want to solve myself. Um,
Appreciate
yeah,
your answer. And
yeah,
one additional question I have along that same lines. When you're fixing your own personal pain points and building things for yourself, on the opposite end, how do you think about putting yourself in the shoes of your user? How do you think about your end user, what they need, and things you can provide them, such as the current project you're building?
yeah, yeah. Are you talking about what I'm about to literally show in 4 hours? Like
Yep,
these?
at the
Yeah, yeah.
hackathon.
So yeah, at the Hatchathon. Here, I'll show you guys this T-shirt. So I made a T-shirt. We had it 3D printed and like this QR code slapped on this T-shirt. Which this goes to the school community that you guys are already in. So it's a way for people to slowly start joining us. Um, but at this Hatchathon, I'm I'm showcasing this software. Like literally, I started building it 2 weeks ago called Unboring Surveys. .com. I already forgot your question, Emmanuel. Like, yeah, clarify the question, and then I'll actually go to it.
Yeah, no worries. So, when you think about your end users, so for example,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for your survey tool that you're
Hmm.
making, you're obviously solving like a really nasty pain point for your user. Can you walk us through like how you
Yeah,
think about that and putting themselves
yes.
in their shoes? Because I think you really do a really good job at that.
That, thank you, man. It's funny because I again like I even for that tool with that problem, it was a problem that someone mentioned on a call, and then so I was like, cool, like this needs to be like one of the things that I could build or whatever. But again, it was me. Like I'm on both sides. Like, yeah, I've sent out surveys myself, but the pain points of how I think about the user, like again, I was also like I've also been that user. I've gotten the surveys in my email, and I'm like, delete. Like I hate these or whatever. And then I've gone through and tried to do surveys for like friends and people that I care about to like, cool, let me try to help them like with this. And I've gotten halfway through some of them, and then I'm just like abort. Like I'm out of here, man. Like I can't even like finish this whole thing. And so again, it was like me. It was like me. It's like me in the shoes of the user as I'm trying to build this thing out. And so I was like, I don't know, like maybe surveys should be more fun. Maybe it should be easier to make them. Like I just start asking those same questions that I do of like any business that I'm in. I think I like subconsciously do this. Um, like having this conversation is cool because it's kind of like bringing it to top of mind, like what I actually do. Because I think like what I do is very like subconscious. I just do it, but it's because I'm always doing it that it becomes easier. So it's almost like I would advise people to just like start doing that. Start like finding issues with anything, and not to be like a negative Nancy, but start like finding things like, oh, this could be improved in this way, or like, oh, well, like why do we do it that way? Like we could do this, and I think having that like curious mind has helped me to put myself in the shoes of the user and help like figure those things out. So yeah, I think that's the only answer. I think it's just like by being like by doing that creative process like with like everything, and it's just something I just subconsciously do. But I don't think I think I had to train myself to get there though. You know what I mean? To get to the point where it's just something that's like a part of my nature.
I also want to ask, um, when it comes to managing upsets, it's kind of crazy because I just got your email from your newsletter about 15 minutes before we started the lunch and learn. You know, in your lunch and learn, or in your sorry, in your email, you include the Haitian phrase. I think I forgot how it goes. Something about beyond mountains, there are more mountains.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you do a really good job at enjoying the journey. You've been at this game for a long time, for over 18 years. Um, how do you go about managing those upsets when things don't work out the way that you plan?
Dude, That's like such a good question. I also think it's something that like should be discussed about more with other entrepreneurs. Like people should be like locking arms about this stuff to be like, hey, failure is a complete like regular part of building something. And I think almost like normalizing it is something that I've done to help. Um that that so that Haitian like proverb, it's like really personal to me or whatever. And so it's like the saying is like, yeah, it's mountains beyond mountains. Like, yeah, beyond mountains, there's more mountains. So I think of it like you're on this journey, you're trying to get to the top of this mountain. Your whole goal is to get to the top. But on the way up, I don't know if y'all have ever been hiking or anything, but like it's hard as all get out. You're going up hills, you may trip over some roots or some rocks, all to get to the top of this mountain. And but here's the funny thing in that proverb, in that like story, that proverb is when you get to the top and you're looking and there's just like beautiful view out there, it's like, man, this is amazing. But you look out among the horizon and you're like, dude, there's just freaking more mountains out there. And it's like, if you're gonna keep going in life, like you keep going. So then you climb down the other side and you keep going. So like for me, it's the mentality of like really appreciating the journey, like actually appreciating uh the you probably heard it said before, like enjoy the process. But like I think there's real stuff in there. Like enjoy the like the action of what you're doing. I'm gonna give you one other example too, um because it's kind of how I think about it, or like what I have to remind myself. And this is why I have to remind myself of this, because entrepreneurs and business owners are more likely to go through depression and anxiety. Why is that? Well, it's obvious to me. The answer is because you're on this like this crazy roller coaster. It's like it's not a steady thing. It's like there's ups and there's downs, and like you have to like manage all of that. It's kind of crazy. So the other analogy I like to think of is like literally like the game of baseball, which I don't even really like watch baseball, to be honest, but it so connects with like life and just making things work. Like dude, you go up to the plate in baseball and you gotta like you gotta swing the bat, or you can stand there. Okay, if you stand there, maybe you strike out, maybe you walk or whatever. But like, first of all, you can't do anything if you don't even walk up to the plate. Like a lot of people don't even like walk up to the plate. But then you're gonna like swing the bat. Okay, cool. You swing the bat. In professional baseball, like the top elite of players in the world, the top 1%, if you can hit the ball one out of every three times you go up to bat, you're the supreme of the supreme. So what does that mean? It means the other two or three times they're like swinging and they're missing and they're striking out and they're out. But they're not out forever. Like they're going to come right back up in that game and get another shot at it. Two, okay, that game's over. Dang, I had a bad night. Cool. Well, they're going to get another game coming up too, like where they get to start all over. And if they can get to the point where they're hitting, it's like 333, like one out of every three, they're like a killer in the game of baseball. So I don't know. I try to like remind myself of that constantly with everything that I'm doing. That like, dude, if you strike out on something, it's okay. Like it's a part of like it's a part of like the big game of life. And that's been super helpful to me.
Really do appreciate that life lesson. I had to write that one down. You can swing the bat or stand there.
Dude,
And
like, yeah.
I I also wanted to ask. I think one thing I admire about you is that since you've been at this game for a long time, you've also built up a very large audience across your social platforms, across Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and your newsletter on Beehive. Like thousands of subscribers. I'm not sure how much you have across the whole gauntlet, but it's a whole lot. Can you tell us about that journey about building your audience?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I couldn't even spit out like the answer to you if I was like, oh, what's my total like whatever reach or following? Honestly, I don't know. And part of that for me is because it's like I'm focused on it, and I think it's good to grow an audience because obviously if you have a message that you want to share or you want to share with people or you want to like grow a business or sell products or something, like cool, it's good. But it's very rarely been like my sole focus is to grow my audience. And if I'm honest, that's why I'm still making content. Like, because I've taken away the pressure from like having to grow on a platform. I think tons of people feel the pressure of like, oh, I have to grow, or like if I'm making this content and I'm not seeing results, like that they get very discouraged by that. And I've heard some people say some stuff sometimes that like dude, just like put out, literally create what you want to create, like that, like that's art. Like art is literally creating for yourself. This guy Rick Rubin said that. I don't know if y'all know who Rick Rubin is, like crazy producer who's produced some like crazy artists, interesting stuff. He's like super um eccentric kind of dude, and he's like, nah man, like I put out, I produce what I want to produce, and then if other people like it, great. um that was probably I know that was a very philosophical answer to your question, because I wasn't like, hey man, here's my tactic for growing this newsletter and and YouTube, and like here's how I write posts. But like that like philosophical like thought is honestly what keeps me like interested in doing it. And like, I don't know, I'll probably keep, I'll probably be making some sort of content for the next 10 years, unless I lose that like mental framework. You know what I mean?
I'm a huge fan of Rick Rubin as well, and I found that lesson to be really helpful in my journey as well. Reading The Creative Act and building for yourself first, and if other people like it, they'll naturally gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
On that same note, what are some of the favorite things that you've built personally? And I know you have a list because you've done a lot of stuff.
That's a good question. So it's very interesting timing, because this role that I'm in right now is like it's like a standard, kind of job, like a W, like I had to like apply and like I'm getting a paycheck. I haven't done that in like a long time, like 18 years or something. But honestly, what we're kind of working on creating right now with Unlock Alabama is probably my like one of the most exciting things that I've worked on in a while. It's like super exciting to me because it feels like a startup that we're creating this thing out of nothing. And like you guys are a part of that on this call, which is really cool because you guys are going through this curriculum that Emmanuel's created. Emmanuel and I are like jiving and talking and getting feedback and figuring out how we want this to look. We're figuring out how to bring people into school. Like y'all are seeing, like you're gonna see like courses and stuff go in there. You're going to see people come in. It's interesting. Like y'all are going to get to see this like real live experience. It's like to me, like honestly, Unlock Alabama is really cool and fun. Also like buildings. I'm just going in general. I'm just going to say building stuff with AI is like insanely cool and exciting. Um, I think like I think we're in a really interesting time where like, so years ago when the iPhone came out and like Instagram, they were like, oh yeah, cool. Like now we've like democratized like being a photographer, where like anyone technically could take like a great photo and you could do something with that photo. Doesn't mean there's not photographers. There's like professional photographers everywhere for like weddings and events and all kinds of stuff. But I think what's happening right now and like what I'm interested in is like the development of like software and tools and stuff. I think what's happening is that like we're kind of like democratizing the ability to be able to create stuff like that. So like people like me with like no background in coding and stuff am able to create stuff. And I think that's really interesting and opens up a lot of interesting doors. I don't know what that means for the future, but I'm like I'm stoked about it. And so yeah, so in the vein of that would be like I've literally had multiple projects. Track it and save. I'm about to release helpfulanalytics.com tonight. Unboringsurveys.com is going to be shown live. I'm working on a tool called callfreelife.com, which I can explain later what that is. I built a site called petmurals.com, which was kind of a joke. And then Emmanuel shows me another website making 100 grand a month doing the same thing. And I literally just had a fun idea on a Saturday morning over coffee because my wife wanted dog photos, and I was like, our dog's never going to take photos. It's not going to happen. So I built a tool using AI to like change them into like a photo with Santa, and made a site out of it. And yeah, so just man, building with AI in general is like, I think you can tell I'm pretty excited about it.
Are there, and I think you raised an important point that now the tools are accessible. You don't really need to have the hard skills as much, since anyone can dive in and learn, especially just just using your native tongue. On that flip side, one thing I do want to ask you is like for our Unlock Alabama Academy community, what are some soft skills that you think are important and think that they should be leveraging as they're building out their projects? And I guess skills that you've picked up along the way that you value yourself.
That's a good question because it kind of goes into just like the ethos of like who almost like who you are as a person, like how you're raised and like how you treat people and stuff like that. Is like a piece of all that. Um, yeah, like because no one can teach you like it's very hard to teach someone like how to be on time. It's very hard to teach someone like, hey, yeah, you gotta be organized. Like you can give people uh you can give people tools to like help and assist with that or like ideas like, hey, this works for me. For me, it's like I literally am everything is digital, but I'm also everything is paper. I'm also 24/7 writing down things in a book. Um, oh yeah, which I created by the way, called Win the Day. I created it for myself. I designed it for myself. Um, yeah, and like I've had to figure out, you know, my own process in my own way with that. Yeah, you can't like force someone in that. I'm also a big proponent of like this is gonna be philosophical, but like the golden rule, like treat other people the way that you want to be treated. So I'm like, okay, yeah, be nice. Like mean people suck kind of thing is or like some of the kind of like some of the vibes I have. Um I also do like if I have some sort of like partnership with someone or whatever, I'm happy to have it on paper just so that we're on the same page, because like it's very good to be on the same page and be like, cool, like yeah, this is what we discussed. But I am not like I would never have a contract that's more than like a page or something, just like spelling out all the details. I'm not a big fan of like legalese and doing all this stuff. Um, that's kind of part of that golden. It's kind of part of that golden rule thing. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have contracts and do like especially if you're doing like a big project or whatever you're doing. It just depends. It depends like what you're working on. Did that partially answer your question, Emmanuel? Kind of
I
what you
did,
had.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your answers. And yeah, I'll also open up it to the community if you want to ask any questions. Please feel free to come off mute to do so.
Yeah. Come
I
on.
just have one quick question. So, and it's about building with AI, like you said. And I know like that's kind of common this day, but some might argue that building with AI kind of like kills, I don't know, people's talent in terms of thinking about their own ideas and trying to like code it up and stuff. Like, what's your take on that?
So I think that's a really good I think it's a really good question. I also think that um I think that this is probably an important thing when it comes to like introducing people like to AI and like sharing like how I use it and like how other people use it to get an understanding of that. Because I had imagined like y'all are in school and like school moves very slow. And when I say school, I mean university, not the cool one, not the SKOOL. Uh uh un- University moves very slow. It's a very slow moving thing, so they're giving you guys some assignments or whatever. You can very easily press some buttons, probably like get your paper done, turn it in or whatever, and like yes, like you can absolutely do that. I'm not even saying there's a problem with that because I think the universities are dumb for not like changing how they teach and I think the way we teach should be completely different. I think we should collaborate as a group. Like, cool, now there's AI, so like instead let's like everyone learn and then let's teach each other. Like, I think everything has to change. I'll also say like yes, you can choose to press buttons and just get stuff and like have it just like shortcut life, but you can also understand that you're working with a tool that has infinite knowledge and can teach you anything that you want. And you can learn from that tool in a way that works best for you. So, you know what I mean? So, like, I mean, how cool is it to be able to tell the teacher how you want to get taught? Like, hey, teacher, I want to learn about this, but like break it down for me. Let's do it over 8 weeks. So let's create this 8-week curriculum. Oh, and I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, that's my favorite show from, as a kid. So like, let's do it in that theme. And like, in my mind, you would learn better in that way, by like doing that. I'm gonna give you one other point too, is that like, I also think that if you use it correctly, it expands your mind to be able to learn things that you would not have been able to learn before. I'll give you a perfect example. No way was Brooks Conkle going to build any of these software tools without learning from AI. Not hitting a button being like, build me this, but helping me learn concepts of coding, learn concepts of web development, learning about hosting, about DNS, about architecture, structure stuff. I didn't even know what to ask. Like, so I literally am talking to the tool like, hey, I want to do this thing, but I don't even know what to ask you. Can you help me and tell me what I should learn and what I should be asking? And so really it's like, it's getting more creative with the tools. Like most people, here, I'm gonna add one more thing. Every day there are things that I don't even think to do with AI that it could be very helpful for me to do, and I use it every day, all day. But I'm still thinking. It's like being able to even think creatively in our seat of how we can do things creatively, is interesting. Good luck. I know that was super long winded to what you said, but like, I'm pretty passionate about that idea, because I do think we need to talk about that and help share with people like
Yeah.
how you can use it to become smarter, and become better, and not just like click a button and get answers, because it can totally do that for all of us. It can totally just like do stuff for us.
Yeah. Thanks for the answer.
Yeah, good question, man. All right, ladies, ask me something. You could be like, what's your pet name? Whatever.
Brooks, I truly have. Well, first of all, let me say War Damn, first
Now
and
we're
foremost.
talking. Now we're
But
talking.
I have no questions. You're just so cool.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, thank you. That was nice of you. I'm gonna tell my wife you said that. I'm like, hey babe, somebody called me cool today. Yeah. Because she's constantly telling me, she's like, don't be weird. Like, we'll be hanging. Like, I love being weird. Like, to me, that's fun. Like, I wanna die being weird. You know what I mean? I want to go out just having a good time being weird. So
Keep being you, Brooks. This was very
thank you.
enlightening. No,
Oh, I'm
like
gonna
I
tell.
even wrote down like when you were talking, just like some of the things that I felt, and I was like, okay, I can relate to that. Like Unlock Alabama, like Innovation Portal. This is like feeling empowering, like with my project and stuff like that. Like I can do it. I can scale this.
Very cool. Very cool. No, y'all are inspiring me. That's why I'm like, all right, fine. I'm gonna hop in there and try to keep up with y'all. Like what y'all are doing. That's cool. Thank you so much.
Yes, same here. I
Hey,
have no question. It was really cool
okay.
learning about your background, and how you build. Like, just with the questions that Emmanuel had asked, I just learned a lot about you. Learned about how you start from beginning to finish, to like handling different partnerships, to even mention contracts. So this whole interaction was very insightful for me.
Cool. Well, I enjoyed hanging out with y'all. This is awesome.
Even the
Thank
way
you.
you think, Brooks, like your thinking process of being like, this could be more efficient. What can I do? What can I build? Okay, I'm gonna build this. Well, let me know. I don't have a question about this. Let me ask AI. Let me ask AI how it can teach me to help me do this. Like, Brooks, your mind is just, I have no words.
Ah, we can all do that if it's a good thing. Like, hopefully the way I'm doing that is like a good thing. Like, I feel good about it. Like, I think it's like kind of creative, and I want to get more creative. So yeah, I mean, I think we can all do that. It just like takes like repetition, just like, yeah, just like putting in reps for it. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna start using that more. So I've copied the prompt down. I'm gonna start asking my own set of AIs that question.
There you go. I like it.
Well, yeah, if there's no further questions, I want to again thank everyone for joining in today. This is going to be recorded, so you all get an email, or we'll post it on school. Figure out a solution to distribute it. And yeah, thank you all for joining the first lunch one. Thank you, Brooks, for presenting and for sharing your story.
Sweet. Thanks so much. I'll hit. We'll stop.